Anyway, we're going to get to some American news, the most important country on the planet. And so kind of like America's Poland, Arizona, where Democrat Katie Hobbs has now defeated Republican Kari Lake for the race of Arizona governor. Let's take a look at what happened in Arizona.
Overnight, major results in an election with national implications. CBS News can now project that Democrat Katie Hobbs will be the next governor of Arizona, defeating Republican Kari Lake, a favorite of former President Trump. It'll be the first time that Arizona has had a Democratic governor and 2 Democratic senators since January of 1951. Christina Ruffini is following all of it for us from Arizona. Christina, major results here. Good morning.
Good morning, Tony. Well, Lake had said she would accept the results of the election if, in her words, voting was fair, honest, and transparent.
Yeah, but, will she? Who knows? Find out after the ad break, because at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those motherfucking ads, all you need to do is subscribe, baby, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account or by getting gifted a sub. That's right. 4 minutes early. Get fucked, okay? So, hey, Bozo, thank you for allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads with 5 gifted subs. Here's a 1-minute ad break now.
But in a tweet after multiple news organizations projected her loss, Lake said,
Ken
quote,
Marcus, thank you for the 5.
Arizonans know BS when they see it. As the vote count continued throughout the week, Lake complained without evidence that Arizona officials had botched and slow-rolled the results. An accusation the Republican
thank you for the 10
in
gifted.
Maricopa County called offensive. Now, Lake needed a strong showing with late-counted ballots in highly populated counties like Maricopa, but the numbers favored Hobbs. Now, under Arizona law, a recount is triggered when a candidate loses by half a percentage point or less. At this point, it looks like Lake will not meet that threshold. Lake now joins the growing list of Trump-endorsed candidates who have lost their high-profile contests, including other governorships in Pennsylvania and Michigan. This election was closely watched, not just because Lake was running on an election-denying Trump-inspired playbook, but because the governor of Arizona can, of course, be the final check on the presidential election process in the state.
All right, and Christina, you're in California, in fact, not Arizona. You moved on to where they are still counting ballots there in some key House races. What's the latest?
Ebergon, Brother
Still
Row.
counting. Yeah, the outcome of the uncalled races
Thank
here
you
are
for the
going
5.
to help
Get the
decide
subs.
this election. At this hour, CBS News is projecting the GOP is only 2 seats away from...
Are you worried that you could be drafted to the U.S. military if World War III happens? Fuck no, dude. What? No fucking shot. What? No way. This picture is wreaking havoc on my mind. Oh, it's like it's one of those things. This photo is isn't that like a Snapchat filter or some shit?
Taking control of the House. Democrats are at 211 seats to...
You know why I'm not worried about fucking World War III drafts, okay? Not because I'm like old or whatever, or because I'm like I'll run away, but because World War III is not going to be fucking fought with conventional weapons on the ground. It's going to be fought with nukes. So it's a GG situation anyway. In many ways, war is just permanent. It's happening all the time. You're just unaware of it. It's happening in poor countries. It's happening in brown countries. It's happening in faraway places that you can't spell or know the names of. Okay? It's already being fought. There's a poverty draft in America, and it's happening. But if there was a war between 2 states, 2 nation states with nuclear arsenal, it would end, and it would end with all-out nuclear holocaust. That's it.
Republicans 216. Now remember, 218 is that magic number they need to clinch, and the Republican Party is seeing some success in what had been traditionally blue states, like here in California and New York. Now, if the Republicans win control, it will only be with a narrow margin. And while current House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has launched his bid to be Speaker, he may face challenges from the most conservative wing of his party.
All right, we'll be following it. Christina, thank you very much.
So yeah, smoking on
Right
that
now,
Kari
public.
Lake pack, okay. And we are going to talk about my favorite state, my beautiful state, the nation state of California, okay. California is most likely going to be the grounds for Republican control over the House of Representatives.
Republicans are inching closer to winning what will be a narrow majority. In
But I
House,
would be peeing right now while this goes.
Let's bring in CNN anchor John Berman. He's at the Magic Wall. John, you know, a lot of these close races have been tipping red in the last couple of days. So where do we see this stand, and are we going to see a power shift as soon as today?
The Republicans have it within sight at this point, Jim. They control 215 seats. We've called 215 races for them, 204 for the Democrats. The Republicans only need 3 more seats to control the House of Representatives. That would give them 218. The Democrats would need to win 14. And at this point, there are only 16 uncalled races. You can see Republicans lead in 6. They only need 3. Democrats lead in 10, but they need to win 14. And it's pretty easy to see on this map where Republicans could pick up those 3 seats that they need. I'll just write 3 up here to remind us of what we're looking at. In California, where a lot of these seats are, by the way, you think the blue state of California, the Republicans could in fact cross that threshold with just California races. You have California's 3rd congressional district. This is actually a Republican-leaning district, R+1, and the Republican there is ahead by 9,000 votes. If you go down to the southern part of the state, California's 41st congressional district, long time in coming, Ken Calvert. He served for decades in the House of Representatives. He holds a 5,000 vote lead with 64% at this point. This, too, is a Republican-leading district. So just win those 2 Republican-leading districts, and they're right on the cusp, Jim. And then there are also seats I'll hone in right now. You have, for instance, California's 45th congressional district. You have incumbent Michelle Steele, who is leading J10. This is a Democratic-leading district, for the turnout tends to favor Republicans. She's ahead by 13,000 votes. These 3 races would give the Republicans control. And then you pull out and we go to Colorado. This race has received a lot of attention. This is Lauren Boebert, California's 3rd. She's ahead by 1,100 votes, 99% in. All that's left here is the overseas military and absentee ballots. Could that be enough for the Democrats to take the lead? Maybe, but most Democrats and Republicans you talk to around the country doubt it. So right there.
Yes, if you're a 10-month subscriber of mine, you are unfamiliar with the concept of showers and how wet hair looks, but this is not grease. This is actually just wet hair. I have long hair that I washed. I wash every day, but I used conditioner and shampoo today as well. So, Poland is going to be talking in the next 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever. And, you know, when Poland decides to speak on the matter, we'll cut away to that. But let's continue with this.
That would give Republicans 4 of the seats that they need and control of the House of Representatives, Jim. And, you know, it's interesting. I mentioned blue California and the fact that California could be the state to put Republicans over the top. If you look 2 years ago, these districts are drawn. 45 of them were Biden districts, 7 were Trump districts. Now you could have 41 in Democratic hands, 11 in Republican hands. That's a net minus of 4 seats there. That might be the difference in control for the Democrats, Jim.
Well, from the Senate races, I mean, from governor's races to Senate races.
Ted Cruz is pissed off. Okay. Ted Cruz is pissed off. He's sick and tired of Mitch McConnell. Here's an old Kari Lake tweet, by the way. Am I the only middle-aged woman out here who wants to marry Bruno Mars? Hashtag Bruno Mars, question mark, question mark, question mark. Before we get to the trigger warning, Ted Cruz, I do want to mention some stuff. There's some internal drama within the Republican Party. Senator Rick Scott has just announced a challenge to McConnell in a closed-door GOP lunch. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Voldemort. I'll say his name. I'm not afraid. He's coming after Big Mitch. Okay? He's coming after the big dog. Okay? This stuff is great. This is great to watch from the sidelines as the Republican Party is like suffering internal conflict. You know, there's a little bit of fighting going on. I don't know why people don't realize that like Rick Scott is also responsible for a lot of these defeats. I don't know why it's like they're shifting the blame on I don't know. I don't understand what the fuck they're even doing really. Like what Republicans are just like
for world stability and
it feels like they're just in a death spiral. It feels like they're in a death spiral and just flailing around and just shitting on one another for no fucking reason.